Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. Now remember to subscribe to our channel below, hit the bell so you never miss out on our daily content. We'd love to have you be a part of the community. And this week on Patreon, we're going to be releasing a new mini documentary. You can check that out, the link below. It's time for another edition of #1 in Our Hearts, where we talk about a song that is so phenomenal, it should have been a #1 hit on the Hot 100. Before we get into it, I do want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear, which I'm wearing now, wear them all the time. Go design your own pair at the link below. They'll deliver them right to your door. You're going to love them. Now, when the original four musicians that made up the group Boston exploded onto the scene back in '76, they humbly claimed to be just another band from Boston, the home of the Bean and the Cod and the Red Sox, but they were anything but your typical rock band. I mean, they were history in the making. Boston's self-titled LP set a record as the best-selling debut album in the United States, selling over 17 million units. They held that record until 2008, when the Boston album was overtaken by Guns N' Roses, their LP Appetite for Destruction, which has sold over 18 million copies to this point. Boston's closer, they're almost to 18 million. But the Boston album was a Picasso, a power rock, a massive triumph that ushered in the new epic of producer rock in the late 70s into the mid 80s. The album stands out as an extraordinary achievement of imagination, patience, but most of all, innovation. It was a timeless, meticulously crafted convergence of science and art, dubbed the Boston Sound, that was created by the band's visionary leader, the great Tom Scholz. Of course, the inventor turned guitar virtuoso that also loved to go ice skating. Scholz was employed by Polaroid in the early 70s. Back then, Polaroid was a cutting-edge electronics company specializing in cameras. Particularly lauded for the camera that featured self-developing film, was known as the instant camera. Now, Scholz was also a classically trained musician and an MIT-educated engineer. He built a recording studio in the basement of his home in Watertown, Massachusetts, and using his educated training and a gift for invention, Tom Scholz designed several custom-made devices that he wanted to incorporate in what he hoped would be groundbreaking music, and boy did he ever. Now, Scholz came up with the name Mother's Milk as the working title for the band before beginning his full-time professional pursuit of a career in the music business, and changed the name of his project to Boston. Now, to record a demo of the song, Scholz was sculpting in his basement. He recruited drummer Jim Mazdia and guitarist Barry Goodrow, whom he met while he was attending MIT. Now, Goodrow introduced him to the late great Brad Delp. That, of course, formed the nucleus of the original Boston to complete a demo tape and perform live gigs when the opportunity arose. Now, years passed and nothing was happening for Boston. Prospects looked really bleak at that point. Tom Scholz and Brad Delp submitted their demos to a lot of record labels, many of them, and they were summarily rebuffed by every single one of them. Every single one of them. Even Epic Records, the label that eventually signed Boston, at first responded to their demo with a rejection letter stating that there wasn't anything new about the music and they were not interested. Tom Scholz actually framed that rejection letter, signed by the very executive that ended up signing the band, and has it hanging on a wall in his home. However, at that point in time, it looked as if Tom Scholz's rock and roll dream was not going to come to fruition. Tom Scholz reconvened in the studio with Brad Delp and Mazdia and cut a brand new demo with 6 additional songs, which included More Than a Feeling, a track that wasn't included on the first demo that Scholz submitted. Now, the new batch of songs caught the attention of promoters Paul Ahern and Charlie McKenzie, who re-engaged with Epic Records and landed Boston that recording deal that they have been looking for so long. There were only 8 tracks on Boston's 1976 self-titled masterpiece, but let's be crystal clear, all 8 songs could have been hit singles, including the lone song solely penned by Brad Delp, Let Me Take You Home Tonight. Phenomenal song. Epic Records decided on releasing just 3 singles from the Boston album. This was before they released a lot of singles, the biggest being the lead single, More Than a Feeling. a song composed by Scholz about the indelible impact that an old favorite song can have in your life. And wow, did the theme of that old favorite capture eternal endearment around the world. The song's narrator is not happy with the present, waking up with the melancholy of a cloudy day and just longing for the passion he felt for a girl from his past. He turns to the music to create an emotion that is more than a feeling. It's more than a feeling when I hear that old song they used to play and I begin dreaming till I see Marianne walk away. I see my Marianne walking away. Now, the real-life Marianne that Scholz writes about was fashioned after an older cousin of Tom's that he had a secret crush on when he was a young love-struck boy. Scholz offers further transparency about his inspiration for writing More Than a Feeling when he cited that the 1966 pop hit Walk Away Renee by the Left Bank was also very influential in his thought process. You can hear accents of Walk Away Renee in Scholz's chord progression during the part of the song when Brad Delp sing I See My Marianne Walking Away. It's there. The construction of More Than a Feeling is a Scholz mosaic that took 5 years to complete. May sound just like a euphoric piece of irresistible ear candy, but there is no rudimentary simplicity in the making of More Than a Feeling, and that's why it had such a profound impact over so many generations. Every facet of the song was deliberately and strategically shaped by Scholz, who took an intellectual approach. The arrangement was inspired by classical music that was composed hundreds of years ago. Let's break down the song's genius and begin with Scholz's idea to kick the song off with a fade-in. The fade-in was a brilliant preamble because it just captivates the listener immediately. You know, it's like your ear is trying to tune into what it is. It's setting us up for something exciting and momentous. The instrumental intro is a double track of two 12-string guitars followed by a third acoustic guitar track that doubles with the bass line and a drum snare. And then we hear the beginning of Brad Delp's incredible vocal performance, which also double-tracked. The B sections in the song are instrumental as they transition into the big chorus with Delp's versatile timbre and just super range. More on that in just a second. The hand claps add motion and harmony that really complement the lead vocal on the chorus. It's amazing how prevalent that hand claps used to be in popular music in the 70s and 80s, and how much the rhythm of a hand clap added to the production. I gotta tell you, hand clapping is just definitely a lost art. Tom Scholz, who is the master sensei of guitar harmony, was really clever with his implementation of beautiful multi-part harmony in each of his guitar parts, especially in the walk down. That extra layer of sound increased the visceral effect of the song, quite literally making the listening experience more than a feeling. It's rock and roll surround sound. I mean, every time you listen to More Than a Feeling, you just hear something that you didn't catch before, even though you may have played the song thousands of times. That magnificent resonance was achieved by an analog doubler harmonizer that actually Scholz custom made and patented. It's one of several recording products that were invented by Scholz that is part of the intellectual property included in the formation of Scholz Research and Development, Inc. Scholz also conceived home-built amps, pedals, and other audio production gear that he distributes and markets under his Rockman brand. The Scholz bridge solo in the middle of the song is akin to something from the Baroque period of Western art music composed from 1600 to about 1750, as it utilizes mordents. Now, a mordent is defined as a rapid alternation of a musical note that is written to a note that is played above or below the original note and returned to the original note in that scale. I love that really cool pick drag in the solo too. You just don't hear those anymore. You could say that pick dragging was also derived from classical music, classical rock music, that is. Now, like the musical arrangement, Delp's soaring vocals dramatically shift in sonic intensity throughout the song. The vocals build the tension in unison with the music, then release it and build it back up again for the grand finale. I mean, think about it. And sing along at the end of the second chorus where Brad Delp sings, "I see my Marianne walking away." Raising his vocal to a stratospheric octave and sustaining that note that sets up the thunderous guitar solo by Tom Scholz. The Brad Delp Tom Scholz attack is a booming cadenza with the propulsion of a spacecraft lifting off to the heavens. And it's a prime example of that famed Boston sound that made the group just so distinctive and historic. In my estimation, Brad Delp is easily the most criminally underappreciated lead vocalist in the history of popular music. I mean, I almost never hear his name when anybody is arguing about the greatest rock singers ever. It's a fact, though, that in peak form, Brad Delp could go toe-to-toe with anyone, be it Robert Plant, Freddie Mercury, Steve Perry, Roger Daltrey, Paul McCartney, anybody. I'm serious. Ann Wilson. His mastery of the upper range of the human voice is pretty much unrivaled in music, but the thing is, he could sustain it for long periods of time without any deficiency of power or emotion. He could keep it level the entire time. It's incredible. The power is there, as is the purity. I remember when I really started to go down the rabbit hole on YouTube, back in the day, and I found that Brad Delp vocals only track. I literally fell out of my chair to hear him attack those parts. Just amazing. And ironically, the video that automatically played after that was a Britney Spears vocal only without auto-tune.
That something wasn't right.
And right there, without opinion, without judgment, was the audio-visual evidence of the difference between two eras of music. Mind-boggling, the gift that Brad Delp had. The other thing about Brad Delp that I don't think people realize is that he sang every single vocal on Boston's first 3 albums, lead and harmony. I mean, not many rock vocalists can claim the same, especially back then. With More Than a Feeling, Brad Delp set the bar sonically, and there just aren't many vocalists who can reach that level of performance. Again, technically adept, soulful, pure, and soaring. The voice of Brad Delp, we all sing along to More Than a Feeling. I mean, we can keep up for a little bit. By the time you get to the end of the first verse, he leaves us in the dust. His voice, really the equivalent of the superhero speed of the Flash, blazing 100 miles into the stratosphere in like 1.2 seconds. And then when he goes from the high D to the high E, he leaves 99.9% of any vocalist who's ever lived in the dust. I mean, Brad Delp masterfully executes incredibly difficult leaps and octaves. And like I said, he sang all the harmonies, even doubling and tripling those harmonies on the classic recording with the soaring, soulful purity that just still sweeps me off my feet, even after hearing this song 1,000 times. If I were putting together an Avengers of rock vocalists, Brad Delp would definitely be one of my first recruits. My producing partner co-produced Brad's last concert, and he said he was such a humble guy, unaffected by the business. God bless you, Brad Delp. Seriously, amazing. Another influence in Scholz's melodic structure is found in the instrumental Telstar by the English band The Tornadoes. That was actually a chart topper on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1962. And then we get to the song's fade out. During the fade out, the bass drops an octave. It's the only time in the song where that happens. Again, that wasn't spontaneity in the recording process or a happy accident. That little change-up was something that Tom Scholz added to the piece to keep the listener engaged. I tell you, just another genius touch. It's so fun to recognize the little nuances that make More Than a Feeling one of the greatest rock recordings of all time, like I said. I gotta tell you, I have a deep appreciation for every second that Tom Scholz put into the creation of such an amazing composition. More Than a Feeling was really an overachiever, a testament of true perseverance. It's a song that could have quite possibly been thrown in the trash can out of frustration. Maybe it never makes it out of Tom Scholz's basement if he doesn't have that patience. But instead, it's one of the most revered songs of the rock era, whose legacy is so much larger than its peak position at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, where it hit in 76. By the way, Rod Stewart's Tonight's the Night was at number 1 that week. It's been 8 weeks at the top. I'm sure Sir Rod could just give up one of those weeks to Boston if we rewrite history. Internationally, More Than a Feeling went to number 4 in Canada, it went to number 9 in Switzerland, number 11 in Australia, and number 22 in the UK. It was a music bed in a TV ad for a credit card company in the UK in 2008. That propelled it to re-chart on the UK singles chart, rising a little bit higher the second time. It reached number 21.
Contactless technology from Barclaycard.
More Than a Feeling is featured in Guitar Hero Smash Hits, Guitar Heroes Live, Rock Band, and the video tutorial Rocksmith. It's been widely used in pop culture, placement in motion pictures and TV. A few of the most notable include, of course, The Sopranos, Glee, that 70s show, Criminal Minds, The Walking Dead, of course on television. In movies, it's been in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, She's Having a Baby, and The Heat. But my favorite use is in the comedy The Middle.
I see my Marian walking away.
More Than a Feeling is more than a classic rock staple. It is an inspired brainchild of innovative artistic engineering and earth-shattering vocals. It will forever be number 1 in our hearts. The best example for me that this song is eternal in the annals of popular music is how it blows the minds of every generation. My dad loved this song. The first time I remember hearing it, it came on the radio, and he said to me while blasting it, turning it all the way up, "This song is what rock and roll is all about." I had the same opportunity with my kids. I didn't say a word. I put it on, and my autistic son, who at the time was about 6 or 7, he just sat there in disbelief. I watched in the rearview mirror as his eyes got bigger than bowling balls. He started to shake his head, in the rhythm. And he's like, "Daddy, who sings this song?" I'm just smiling. "Boston." He said, "Wow, Daddy, this is way better than Imagine Dragons." Man, at that moment, it just hit me. We don't have to convince our kids that this music from the golden era is truly elite. We just have to play it and allow them to listen. When they hear Marianne walking away, it will become more than a song. It will become more than a feeling. Leave us a comment about this classic song and Boston below. What are your memories of this song? I know you have it. I'd love to hear it. Now, you can get Boston's music and merch by clicking on our Amazon links below. If you dig our content, we invite you to be a part of our community. We'd love to hear from you. Subscribe below and get a pair of Zenni glasses as well, glasses or sunglasses. You can also become a patron to unlock even more content and help us keep the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.